F1, the movie, because that's a distinction that had to be made. Whatever. 2025, Joseph Kosinski. This film follows a man named Sonny Haynes. A race car driver, Sonny has just won the 24-hour Daytona race and has driven off into the sunset. But an old friend named Ruben, a former rival of Sonny's from his days racing in F1, comes to Sonny with a proposition. Join his failing F1 team Apex GP and help him win. Sonny agrees, but as soon as he gets there, he begins butting heads with cocky, young, up-and-coming driver Josh Pierce. With the future of Apex GP hanging in the balance, Sonny must find a way to whip Josh and this team into shape and win the F1 championship. I can confirm, without a shadow of doubt, that this was undoubtedly, unequivocally, a movie about car racing. While there was a decent flow to the visual style and the quieter scenes, Kosinski knew where his bread was buttered in this film, and that was the car racing. Filming at various F1 events over the course of a couple years, there are tons of wonderful perspective shots, and cuts to footage that either is or looks like it could be from an actual F1 racing event broadcast. The stunt driving and coordination of these races was top-notch. The cars in these films sounded thunderous, and the use of sound throughout the film, especially when it cut out, was very effective. The music is probably the most interesting element of the film. Not because it was consistently great, but mostly because it gave me a lot to talk about. The original score was composed by the legendary Hans Zimmer, and his brand of atmospherics for this particular film was decent. I maybe recognize the manipulative tricks he was using from a compositional standpoint, but on a monkey brain level, the before-mentioned atmospherics created by the synths and the string sections worked wonders for this film. The original soundtrack was a mixed bag, but not in the way I thought it would be. For most of the film, we are treated to classic rock from the likes of Led Zeppelin, Queen, and the like. The 24-hour Daytona car race was set to Whole Lotta Love, which, as a choice, was honestly kinda lame. Honestly, all the uses of boomer classic rock in this film were not that cool. Oddly enough, the only time I liked the soundtrack was when it was using modern pop music and modern rap. The synth-laden pop beats worked way better for these montages and captured the tone of a modern sporting event and modern sports culture more honestly. But when we get into the story that this movie is telling, that's when I kinda lose all interest. Sure, the cast are doing a good job. Brad Pitt is the cool southern old-timer. Damson Idris is the arrogant new blood. Javier Bardem is the old owner looking to save his company. And these actors get into these roles convincingly and have a decent chemistry with each other. It helped too when the dialogue felt realistic and enveloped you in the sport. But this is sadly about as generic a sports story as you can get. The character and plot beats were so predictable, so cookie cutter, that I was able to call them before they even happened. Like, well before they even happened. I'm sure you could pull something legitimately interesting out of the character of Sonny Haynes and explore a character with a death wish. The pieces were there, but you know, why write an interesting script? All we got was him winning the big race and getting the girl and having a happy ending where everyone learned their lessons, yada yada yada, gumdrops and fucking rainbows. Why have stakes? Am I right?
Kill me now.
Yeah, I guess if you're a fan of Formula One racing, then this film might scratch an itch. If anything, it did okay at presenting the sport in an accurate enough manner, and the cast do a good job selling the material. But that's really all this film has going for it. Just dime a dozen writing, a lack of spectacular filmmaking outside of the racing scenes. This was merely a movie, trademark. Yeah, sorry, but I just want a little more out of a film than the cars going vroom vroom, you know? And I'm feeling a 5 out of 10 on this one. Like, I guess maybe I could consider a 5.5 for the music and the racing, but that's just pushing it. Ugh. Catch you later, guys.